Welcome to the program. The title of our program is On the Steps to City Hall. We have a special guest in studio. It's Adeena Bleich. She's a candidate for the LA City Council 5th District area, and we're going to have a nice question and answer with her. The audience will get to know who she is, learn more about her background, her position on the issues, and just have a general view of her candidacy. Adeena, thank you for attending the studio.
Thank you for having me here.
Tell us a little bit about the 5th District boundaries. I know before we went on the air, it was a very interesting question that you raised. Can you help us define those boundaries?
Sure. The 5th District the boundaries are best defined by looking at the 405 to the Laurel Canyon in the hillside area. And then the communities within that, I'm going to give you the neighborhoods just because the streets are very gerrymandered and cut in and out.
Okay.
So it's Encino, Valley Village, Sherman Oaks, south of the boulevard, meaning Ventura Boulevard.
Okay.
You come over the hillside, you have, and included in that is Bel Air and the Hollywood Hills. Come into Westwood, you have Cheviot Hills, Rancho Park, Century City, Pico Robertson, continues east through the Carthay area and all of the Fairfax district.
Wow, that's quite a district.
It is. It's actually the largest geographic landmass of all the council districts.
Well, that's excellent, and I think you're the first one that I've talked to that has so concisely explained this. And I think our viewing audience would appreciate that, because if you're within the boundaries that Adeena had mentioned, you should be very interested in this program and what Adeena has to say. Adeena, let's go a little bit on your background. What have you been doing? What are you doing now?
Well, I actually, let me take it back for you to kind of how I got to be sitting here today, how I even began to become a city council member.
Sure.
I was not somebody who you would say is a traditional candidate. I didn't know from the time I was 14, 15 that what I wanted to do was go to Congress or go to Sacramento or go to City Hall.
Okay.
What I wanted to do was being in a helping profession. Then the presidential election in 2000 happened. And it was really a big wake-up call for me, which I think was a big wake-up call for a lot of people, that maybe something wasn't quite right in our government.
Okay.
And what I decided to do was take action, not just be upset or not just wonder what's going on inside our halls of government, to actually go there and make it better. And so I went looking for a job in politics, ended up working for the council member in District 5, worked there for about 4 years, actually. So, and I actually believe I'm the only candidate currently running who's worked in the district. And worked directly with the issues and worked to try and change things and make things happen for the better for the community. I then went on to work for Bob Hertzberg, who's former Speaker of the California Assembly when he ran for mayor. And he's now chairing my campaign, which is wonderful. After Bob Hertzberg, I worked for a time as the executive director of New Schools, Better Neighborhoods, which is an educational nonprofit. And most recently, I was the Los Angeles director for APAC, which is the American Israel Public Affairs Committee. And I was doing that for the last 3 years. And then I left to campaign for this seat, for Council District 5.
Wow, that's excellent. I mean, that really shows you have some experience here. So you really know the issues, the area, what's important. Let's get into that. Adeena, what do you think is the most important issue facing the 5th District now? And then once you define that, what would you do to bring about a solution?
Well, I want to give that a little bit of context because I'm running, I gave a lot of it about my background, but I'm running because I think there are a lot of fundamental changes that need to happen at City Hall. And what I learned in my time at City Hall and in the district was that there's a lot of politicking and not a lot of public service. And what we really need is somebody to focus on public service. And so I think that in and of itself is an issue because it trickles down into everything. And when you look at it, the city really is, it's a big business, but nobody's really focusing on it in that way. And to me, success will come from managing all of the smaller things that nobody is focusing on. Nobody is really managing the house at this point. And so there's not a big vision when it comes to things like traffic and new development in the district. There's not a big vision when it comes to looking at how our neighborhoods work with our business corridors. And so a lot of that is being lost. There's not enough emphasis on access and interaction with the neighborhoods as well, and getting input with the communities. And so that's something that I really want to focus on. And I actually put it all into certain categories. When I think of what success is, I talk about it in terms of action, access, and accountability.
Wow, that's a nice acronym. That's very nice. And actually, I see your emphasis is on community activism and direct involvement. You seem to be a person that would really get involved, be sensitive to the issues, and bringing about some kind of solution right away. Am I right?
Yes, absolutely. And I think that, it's funny, the word community organizer has kind of gotten this interesting taint since, what went on with the presidential election.
Yes.
But I really feel that in many ways, a council member is really a combination of a community organizer and a CEO.
Okay.
Working to vision and really rolling up your sleeves, getting in, being present and active in the community. It's not about being downtown at City Hall on Main Street, which is its address, but actually being on the main streets of our district.